We keep hearing that LLM agents can write code, automate workflows, and even run entire software stacks. But there's a fundamental gap between completing a discrete task and operating a business end-to-end. Running a business means making high-stakes decisions under noisy signals, committing capital before you know the outcome, adapting to shifting markets, and satisfying relentless operational obligations. Until now, no benchmark has properly tested whether frontier models can actually handle that. That changes with Business Arena, a new controlled marketplace environment designed to evaluate AI agents as autonomous economic operators. Current agent benchmarks are built for static, verifiable tasks. You get a prompt, you run code, you pass tests. The world doesn't change while you work, and there's always a single correct answer. Real business is the exact opposite. Evidence is scattered and contradictory. Feedback is delayed by weeks or months. Competitors reprice overnight. Tariffs shift, and you have to pay daily overhead whether you're making money or not. Direct deployment is too risky for evaluation, so researchers needed a sandbox that preserves these challenges without risking real capital. Enter Business Arena. It's a simulated cross-border B2B marketplace grounded in real Alibaba, sourcing data and market conditions calibrated from authoritative economic sources. You're given an $80,000 starting capital and 30 simulated days to run a shop. But this isn't a simple vending machine simulator. The environment exposes you to the full business loop: market research, supplier discovery, inventory management, route-specific pricing, advertising, customer service, compliance certification, and financial recovery. Over 60 specialized tools let you interleave reasoning with action, write scripts, manage a persistent workspace, and execute complex multi-step workflows. The agent runs in an isolated sandbox, completely blind to the simulator's hidden state, forced to operate strictly through the public market interface. The arena is built around 4 structural challenges that make business difficult. First, incomplete and noisy evidence. You can't see latent demand. You have to infer it from public signals like Google Trends, festival calendars, and competitor pricing. Second, delayed economic consequences. You commit capital up front, but sales, shipping delays, and tariff impacts only resolve later. Idle cash burns through daily overhead, while unsold inventory incurs holding fees and gets liquidated at a discount at the end. Third, a changing market. 60 non-player sellers operate with distinct strategies. Some undercut the median price, others run cost-plus pricing, event snipers spike prices during peaks, and dormant sellers slowly decay their listings. Demand, supplier costs, and trade policies evolve independently of your actions. Fourth, persistent operational obligations. You can't just chase margins. You need market-specific compliance approvals, timely customer responses, and disciplined financial management. Violate compliance, and you face escalating fines that can wipe out months of profit. So how do you actually measure whether an agent is smart, or just got lucky with a simulator shortcut? The researchers designed a multi-layered evaluation framework. First, they establish a baseline for available opportunity, using a library of expert-designed strategies. These aren't heuristic patches. They're coherent operating doctrines like Bayesian export compounders and relationship-led wholesalers that coordinate sourcing, pricing, and capital recycling based on public evidence. The best expert strategy more than doubles the top model's mean return, proving there's still massive headroom. Second, they decompose performance into skill-level metrics. Instead of just looking at final net worth, they track capital utilization, inventory turnover, order margin, sell-through rates, advertising ROI, and compliance reliability. This reveals operating styles. Some models act like premium margin protectors, accepting lower sales volume to preserve unit economics. Others behave like volume wholesalers, chasing high sell-through at the cost of thinner margins. A few even specialize as customer service agents, converting inquiries at high rates but failing to translate that into profitable full-cycle operations. Third, they implement action-level attribution. Every gain and loss is traced back to the specific sourcing, pricing, or recovery decision that caused it. This lets researchers see exactly where value is created or destroyed. For example, one model might correctly identify a tariff shock and adjust route-specific pricing, while another applies a flat markup across all markets and bleeds money on the affected route. This fine-grained credit assignment is crucial for future training and reinforcement learning. Across 15 frontier models, the results are stark. Mean final net worth ranges from roughly $20,000 to nearly $190,000. A 9-fold gap. Over half of all runs actually lose money. Only 4 models consistently preserve their starting capital across 10 trials. And reliability matters just as much as average profitability. Business outcomes are inherently volatile, so the team uses stateful evaluation and checkpoint restore pipelines to fork trajectories and run controlled continuations. Stateful evaluation means saving the exact market state, the agent's workspace, and the tool boundary at specific intervals. In a trace search experiment, branching from high-potential intermediate states every 5 days outperformed both daily forking and independent full runs, proving that delayed feedback requires longer evaluation horizons to capture true decision quality. The financial mechanics are intentionally friction-heavy to prevent exploitation. Final assets are calculated with realistic drag. Escrow and receivables settle at 97%, inventory liquidates at 85%, and daily overhead plus inventory holding fees punish passive operation. Short-term loans compound at 15% daily, and invoice factoring charges explicit discounts for early liquidity. This turns finance from a passive accounting layer into an active attribution surface. Agents that underdeploy capital, over-leverage, or hold stale inventory get penalized exactly how real markets would. Mechanism ablations further validate the benchmark. When researchers remove demand inference, force blind bulk buying, or disable tariff-aware routing, performance collapses. Competent use of public evidence consistently improves economic outcomes, while systematic misuse or shortcut exploitation is heavily punished. This confirms that high scores reflect genuine business intelligence, not simulator gaming. The statistical reliability of these rankings is also rigorously tested. Using intraclass correlation coefficients across repeated runs, the leaderboard shows that model identity explains nearly 65% of the score variance, while the remaining 35% captures trajectory-level noise. Repeating each evaluation 10 times brings the reliability metric above 94%, ensuring that the rankings reflect persistent capability rather than lucky runs. Business Arena represents a significant step toward rigorously evaluating autonomous agents in complex, evolving economic environments. It shows that while frontier models can execute individual tasks with impressive fluency, sustaining a coherent business requires disciplined capital recycling, route-aware cost accounting, proactive compliance, and the ability to adapt when early assumptions break down. The gap between the best models and expert design strategies is still substantial, highlighting that end-to-end business operation remains a hard frontier for current architectures. As agents move from tool use assistants to autonomous operators, benchmarks like this will be essential for measuring reliability, strategic planning, and real-world economic impact. If you want to dive into the full methodology, run your own evaluations, or explore the expert strategy architectures, the project page and technical appendices are linked below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.